At 50 degrees Celsius, shade stops feeling cool. Roads soften, machines struggle, and the human body can lose the ability to control its own temperature. But several places on Earth have climbed far beyond 50. This countdown ranks 10 locations by the highest reported air temperature measured at or near a weather station. We are not using satellite ground temperature, which can be much higher than the air, and we are not using heat index. One warning before we begin: several historic records are still officially recognized, but their accuracy has been questioned because they were measured with older equipment. We will separate the official record from the scientific debate. These are the 10 hottest places ever recorded on Earth. Number 10, Mexicali, Mexico, 52.0 degrees Celsius. Mexicali lies in the far north of Mexico, directly beside California's Imperial Valley. On July 28, 1995, the Mexicali area recorded 52 degrees Celsius, equal to 125.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The geography is almost designed to produce extreme summer heat. The city sits in a low desert valley surrounded by barren mountain ranges. Skies are usually clear, rainfall is scarce, and the dry ground absorbs enormous amounts of solar energy during the day. When regional high pressure limits cloud formation and air movement, that heat remains concentrated near the surface. Mexicali is not an abandoned desert station. It is a major city where people work, drive and live through summer temperatures that regularly exceed 40 degrees. Its record shows that extreme heat is not limited to empty landscapes. Number 9, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, 52.0 degrees Celsius. Jeddah matched Mexicali's 52-degree mark on June 22, 2010. The number alone is severe, but Jeddah's Red Sea location adds humidity. High humidity slows the evaporation of sweat, the body's main cooling system. That means a coastal temperature can feel more physically punishing than the same reading in an extremely dry desert. During the 2010 event, the heat was accompanied by major pressure on the electrical grid. Power failures made the situation worse because modern life in Jeddah depends heavily on air conditioning. The record was not simply a weather statistic, it demonstrated how quickly extreme heat can become an infrastructure emergency. Number 8, Swaihan, United Arab Emirates, 52.1 degrees Celsius. Swaihan, an inland desert settlement near Al Ain, holds the United Arab Emirates national record of 52.1 degrees Celsius, measured in July 2002. Unlike the UAE's coastal cities, Swaihan receives less cooling from the Persian Gulf. Its dry desert surface heats quickly beneath cloudless skies, and the surrounding landscape provides little vegetation or water to absorb energy through evaporation. The location remains exceptionally hot. On August 1, 2025, Swaihan reached 51.8 degrees, the UAE's highest reading in several years and only 0.3 of a degree below its all-time record. More than 20 years after the original measurement, the same area is still repeatedly approaching the limits of recorded heat. Number 7, Ahvaz, Iran, 53.7 degrees Celsius. On June 29, 2017, Ahvaz in southwestern Iran reached 53.7 degrees Celsius, or about 128.7 Fahrenheit. Ahvaz sits on the Karun River in a low, flat region near major oil fields. The surrounding terrain is arid, and summer high-pressure systems can drive extremely hot air across the region. The city also experiences dust and, at times, enough humidity to make the heat feel even worse. The 2017 temperature was reported as Iran's highest reliable reading and one of the highest modern air temperatures ever observed in a populated city. This matters because Ahvaz is not a remote weather station. It is home to hundreds of thousands of people who must continue using roads, hospitals, electricity and water systems during extreme heat. Number 6, Turbet, Pakistan, 53.7 degrees Celsius. Turbet also reached 53.7 degrees Celsius on May 28, 2017. The city lies in Pakistan's Baluchistan region, inside an arid valley surrounded by bare mountains. The measurement was investigated by an International World Meteorological Organization committee. After checking the instrument, station conditions and surrounding weather pattern, the WMO verified the result with an uncertainty of plus or minus 0.4 degrees. That verification makes Turbet especially important. It is not simply a dramatic number reported during a heatwave, it is one of the most carefully examined extreme temperature measurements in modern history. It also occurred in May, before the Northern Hemisphere had even reached midsummer. Number 5, Basra, Iraq, 53.9 degrees Celsius. Basra reached 53.9 degrees Celsius, or 129 Fahrenheit, on July 22, 2016. The city is located in southern Iraq near the Shatt al-Arab waterway in the Persian Gulf. Its summers combine desert heat with periods of high humidity. That combination places enormous stress on the body because sweat becomes less effective at removing heat. Basra's record arrived one day after another extraordinary measurement just across the border in Kuwait. The two readings showed that the event was not an isolated instrument error. A huge mass of exceptionally hot air had settled across the northern Persian Gulf region. Basra also demonstrates the danger of hot nights. When temperatures remain extremely high after sunset, buildings and human bodies receive little time to cool down before the next day begins. Number 4. Mitribah, Kuwait, 53.9 degrees Celsius. On July 21, 2016, the remote Mitribah weather station in northwest Kuwait measured 53.9 degrees Celsius. The WMO conducted an unusually detailed investigation. Experts examined the station, the regional weather pattern and the actual temperature sensor. The instrument was independently calibrated before the reading was officially accepted with an uncertainty of just plus or minus 0.1 degrees. The result became the verified record for continental Asia and one of the highest officially recognized modern temperatures on Earth. Unlike some older records on this list, Mitribah's measurement was taken with modern equipment and subjected to direct scientific testing. That gives researchers unusually high confidence in the number. Number 3. Tirat Tzvi, Israel, 54.0 degrees Celsius. Tirat Tzvi is an agricultural community in the Beit Shean Valley, roughly 220 meters below sea level. On June 21, 1942, it recorded 54 degrees Celsius, equal to 129.2 Fahrenheit. Low elevation helps explain the region's heat. Air descending into a deep valley is compressed and warmed, while the surrounding dry terrain receives intense summer sunshine. Even with irrigation and date palm farms, the broader valley can become extremely hot. The WMO still lists the 54-degree figure as the regional record. However, historians have questioned the interpretation of the old thermograph, and some analyses suggest that the true value may have been lower. Tirat Tzvi remains official, but it should not be treated with the same confidence as the modern Mitribah and Turbot measurements. Number 2, Kebili, Tunisia, 55.0 degrees Celsius. Kebili, an oasis town on the edge of the Sahara, officially reached 55 degrees Celsius, or 131 Fahrenheit, on July 7, 1931. The surrounding desert has almost every ingredient needed for extreme heating: dry soil, sparse vegetation, intense sunlight and very little cloud cover. Kebili's oasis supports date palms and settlement, but beyond the cultivated area lies a vast landscape that absorbs heat throughout the day. The WMO recognizes the measurement as the highest temperature in Africa and the Eastern Hemisphere. Like Tirat Tzvi, however, the record comes from an era when station exposure and instruments did not always meet modern standards. Meteorological historians have challenged its accuracy, but no formal WMO investigation has removed it from the archive. Number 1. Furnace Creek, Death Valley, USA, 56.7 degrees Celsius. The official world record belongs to Furnace Creek in California's Death Valley, 56.7 degrees Celsius, or 134 degrees Fahrenheit, measured on July 10, 1913. Death Valley is a deep basin surrounded by steep mountains. Furnace Creek lies below sea level. The clear desert atmosphere allows intense sunlight to heat the ground, while the basin's geography limits cooling. Hot air rises, cools slightly, then can descend along the valley walls and warm again under compression. The result is a natural heat trap, but the 1913 record is one of the most debated measurements in meteorology. Researchers have argued that the surrounding weather observations do not fully support such an extreme value. Despite those objections, both the United States National Committee and the WMO continue to recognize it. Death Valley has also produced extraordinary modern readings. Furnace Creek reached 54.4 degrees Celsius in both 2020 and 2021. The WMO has been investigating those measurements. If verified, they would rank among the highest reliably measured temperatures in modern history. So the scientifically honest conclusion is this: 56.7 degrees remains the official world record, while the strongest modern verified measurements include Mitribah at 53.9 and Turbot at 53.7 degrees. These records are not measurements of hot sand or a car dashboard. They are air temperatures recorded at weather stations under defined conditions. Which location surprised you the most? For more countdowns about the most extreme places on Earth, subscribe to Peak Selects. Thanks for watching.